Seldom do you come across a news item amidst the raging genocide in Gaza that brings a smile on your face. I mean, how do you find an even remotely uplifting story when your social media timelines are full of bloodshed of innocent victims of Israeli genocide, jointly sponsored by the US, the UK, the EU, Canada, and Australia? But even in this doom and gloom, I experienced a somewhat positive story when I read the latest social media post of Dutch top footballer Anwar El Ghazi. Now, Anwar has just informed his millions of followers about his remarkable victory against the racism and Islamophobia of his former German football club, Mainz. If you have followed his story and if you have followed Anwar Al Ghazi, then you would know that Anwar's contract was illegally and lawfully terminated by top German football club Mainz in November last year. What was his fault? Well, I'll tell you in detail. Just when Israelis had launched its genocidal campaign in Gaza, murdering thousands of Palestinian children and babies, just like millions of people from around the world, Anwar too had taken to his social media to express his disgust. That's all he had done. That's all. That is what any individual who has even little bit of sympathy and empathy for human life would do that. In one of his posts, he had written, "From river to the sea, Palestine will be free." Now, this post had gone viral. Reacting to Anwar's social media post, Mainz Football Club decided to immediately suspend him. This happened on 17th of October, 10 days after the Israelis had begun slaughtering Palestinians. We all know that Israeli Zionists and their Western backers have always objected to the slogan "From river to the sea and Palestine will be free." Why? Because they say that this is essentially calling for the destruction of Israel. However, Palestinians and their supporters disagree, and they rightly argue that this only refers to an end to Israeli human rights abuses and occupation of a foreign country, which in this case is Palestine. Anwar, who is a Dutch Muslim footballer of Moroccan origin, issued a clarification by sharing another social media post. You can see here on the screen, in which he wrote how he condemned violence against all civilians. And he also wrote that he condemned Islamophobia as much as he condemned anti-Semitism. Now, Mainz, which was his football club then, revoked his suspension and issued a statement saying that Anwar, in the club's words, had issued regrets for his comments and he did not question Israel's right to exist. Now, this statement issued by his club evoked an angry reaction from Anwar, who said that Mainz had decided to release the statement without his permission. Now, what happened on 4th of November, Mainz sensationally terminated his contract altogether. First, he was suspended, suspension was revoked, and now they decided to cancel his contract altogether, leaving everyone stunned. Here was a top European footballer who had previously played for massively popular English football clubs such as Everton and Aston Villa, and yet the club, like Mainz, had decided to illegally terminate his contract just because he had decided to use his fame to support the victims of Israeli genocide. That's all. That was his only crime. Now, we all know that Germany is a completely screwed up country. But this was appalling even by German standards. Far from being perturbed by Mainz Football Club's action, Anwar wrote on social media, and I quote, "Stand for what is right, even if it means standing alone. The loss of my livelihood is nothing when compared to the hell being unleashed on the innocent and vulnerable in Gaza. Hashtag stop the killing." End of quote. Now, what happens is that with the help of Nujum Sports, which is a charity working towards helping Muslim athletes, Anwar filed a case against Mainz Football Club and challenged his termination. In July, this year July, a German court ruled in his favor. Now in May, Anwar had also organized a charity football match, raising funds for children in Gaza. On 31st of July, Anwar announced that he had left Mainz football club after his legal victory. I think that was a sensible action. You couldn't have expected him to continue with that racist club anymore. He, however, said that he was in no mood to celebrate his legal victory because this meant nothing when the defenseless civilians and children continued to be slaughtered in Gaza. On 1st of August, Anwar announced that he had joined Cardiff City Football Club. In his statement, he wrote, "So surely with hardship comes ease." This is the translation of a popular verse from Holy Quran. After the darkness of the last few months, I look forward to this new chapter at Cardiff City Football Club. I'm grateful to the club and manager for giving me this opportunity and accepting me for who I am without question, and the amazing players and fans for welcoming me so warmly. I will forever remember your faith and love. Whatever the outcome, I will give my all for you on the pitch and do my best to deliver success and happiness. May the coming months bring prosperity and peace for all, including those in Gaza. Anwar was contracted with Mainz until 2025. After his legal victory in July, the German club was ordered to pay his wages for the past 9 months, which totaled around 1.7 million euros or 1.85 million American dollars. And today, the footballer has revealed that he has just received a final compensation of over €500,000, which is over and above of what the club owed him. But it's the way he has drafted his statement which has brought a smile on my face, and I'm sure it would have brought a similar smile on the faces of his supporters. This will surely be an insult to injury for the racist German football club. So here is what Anwar wrote. He wrote, and I quote, "After receiving a substantial payment today from Mainz, I would like to make it clear that my legal battle with Mainz has never for me been about money. I would like to take this moment to thank Mainz for two things. Firstly, for the substantial financial payoff, €500,000, of which will be used to fund projects for the children in Gaza. I hope Mainz, despite the repeated failed attempts to avoid making the due payment, take solace from the knowledge that they have, through me, contributed financially in trying to make life a little more bearable for the children of Gaza. Secondly, in attempting to silence me, making my voice even louder for the oppressed and voiceless in Gaza." End of quote. I'm glad Anwar decided to take pot shots at the racist German football club by reminding them that they may have hated any public support for Gaza's children, but now their €500,000 will be used to bring a smile on their faces. And they may have made desperate attempts to silence a footballer of international repute, but they ended up amplifying his voice. My two observations here. You would have thought that a country like Germany, which facilitated the slaughtering of millions of people during the Holocaust, would have learned its lesson and had developed a little bit of compassion towards victims of genocide. No, it hasn't. If anything, if their police's behavior is anything to go by, and how they have treated pro-Palestinian voices in the recent weeks and months, it's clear that Germany has become a failed and racist nation. And a word of appreciation for Cardiff City Football Club. It's not easy to defy the public sentiment and embrace a footballer despite his pro-Palestine stance. That's a twisted world we live in, where you become unemployable for just showing empathy to victims of a genocide. So heartfelt thanks to Cardiff City Football Club. I wish you a lot of success in time to come. That's it from me. Thank you so much for your continued support to my journalism on buymecoffee.com. If you think that my journalism needs supporting, then you can also join the movement. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.